Good morning, it's another day. We've already been up and at it for quite a few hours. I already ran to the hardware store, so I got everything we needed to, in theory, put the finishing touches on our system today. We also got the preliminary foundation plans for our house, which we hope to start the excavation for in a week, and we're gonna do our concrete pours starting the end of the month. So this morning we're gonna try to get these babies installed, and Jesse has been working on backfilling the cisterns, or more accurately trying to filter soil, and we're not sure if we're gonna have enough. And a lot of these piles you see are actually like 80% rock, so there is a chance that we're just gonna order a huge load of soil so we can be done with this. We often wonder what Bugaboo does all night, every night since he's gone, and I see some kitty cat prints on this gasket. And these were left up here overnight, so that means he came all the way up here to inspect the new stuff. This is Alyssa's ingenuity. If you don't have a pencil, lick your bulkhead and then place it where you want it. Da-da-da! And here's why things take so long around here. So this 1.5-inch hole saw was big enough to drill the other 3/4-inch bulkhead, but it's too small for this one, so I have to go back down the hill to find a bigger hole saw. Grr. This hole's a little bigger than what we want, but we don't have an in-between hole saw size, so. Bum, ba, ba.
To help us get maximum capacity out of these cisterns, we're going to put a small riser on the inlet. So we're going to attach a small 3/4 pipe to the inside of the bulkhead, which is threaded, and then an elbow, and turn this elbow up slightly, which might gain us maybe around 1 inch or so of capacity before the water goes into the overflow. And that could generate maybe somewhere between 40 and 50 additional gallons of capacity. Yep, can you grab that side?
Yep.
Got it?
Yep.
Need you to guide it. Can you tell me where I'm at? Can't see the bottom of it. I'm trying to set it right on the flange. It needs to be about 1/4 inch overhang on your side.
Next, we get to install the overflow. So our inlet is 3/4 and our outlet is 1 inch. So there's no way we could possibly overfill this tank. And this is located just a smidgen below our inlet. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna attach an elbow here, and we're gonna run this out through there, and it's gonna run out over the hillside. Anything monumental we wanna say about the riser pipes?
We didn't do them in the right order. It's one of those things where experience is important, so it's not monumental, but we learned a lesson.
What Jesse means is we caulked the flange or whatever to the riser pipe, and we should have installed the flange to the tank and then put the riser pipe on top, but no one told us that and we didn't know, so it's all good. We got the job done.
And we used a drill as a router and we got it all done, so.
Probably later today if we get around to it. This is where our vents are gonna come out, so we're just gonna have 3/4 PVC that goes up, I don't know, maybe 18 inches, and it's gonna point down, and we're gonna put a really fine filter on it, or a screen, so things can't get in and go into our water system. We've been having birds diving down at us this whole time. Jesse thought there's probably a nest. He said in the cistern hole, and I'm thinking, no nest that I've ever seen was in the ground. It's probably up in the tree, but sure enough, we found it. There's Mama.
courageous little buggers. This is probably one of the bad sides of leaving a cistern hole or trench open too long. Things start to make it their home. So I guess we'll get this riser pipe on and maybe we'll work elsewhere and let the babies grow up and become little birds so they can poop on Alyssa's arm. I'm impressed at the bravery and the courage of these little birds. I mean, I'm running a backhoe over here and they're just hanging out nearby like, hey, look at me, so.
You guys actually know we're not really building a house. This is all a show. This is a set. We are in Hollywood and we live like right over there.
Cut!
Like we go home to air conditioning every night. Like this is all fake.
We ride a golf cart to our studio.
Yep.
Alyssa has like a
cat's out of the bag.
Alyssa has a makeup trailer or whatever they call them.
We've already mentioned this, but we'll say it again. There's a book we used to design this water system by Art Ludwig. We'll link to it below the video. And that book really helped us understand the ins and outs of a water system, specifically a gravity-fed water system. This overflow, I don't know, maybe it's common sense to most of you, but it wasn't to me. But you need an overflow on your tank, and it needs to be properly sized. So I think that book kind of saved our bacon a little bit.
Yeah, and it gave us good talking points. So one of the most common questions we get is how to get your spouse to go on a journey like this.
That wasn't in a book.
It's extremely critical that Alyssa and I be roughly on the same page for most of these projects. And so a book like that, we can read it together. You can read it, I can read it. And then when I talk to you, you know what I'm talking about. And when you talk to me, I know what you're talking about, right? So it creates common ground.
Cool. Got that all bedded. So now we gotta dig that down and put in, not the last of it.
I'd put in a couple links. Well, probably only one, whatever it takes to get past that hump of rock.
It's pretty good. How's it looking?
Good.
It's the heat of the day and we have some errands to run. We actually do want to get the Schedule 80 or whatever we need to finish this dang system potentially tonight. So we're gonna go get a load of water to fill the cisterns up, avoid the heat of the day, and be back at this in a couple of hours. We're back from errands. It's shady, it's still pretty warm out here, but it's cool enough for Bugaboo to come out, so it's cool enough to go back to work.
Yeah. But it's a little bit better than it was earlier, so maybe we'll have a little squirt of energy.
Yep.
Get this darn thing wrapped up.
This fall, we attempted to somewhat organize what was coming out of the trench. So the really big rocks with the excavator, we picked them up and set them in this pile here. So we don't really know where to put them yet, so Jesse's just gonna leave them there. And then this was the not as big of rock, and Jesse was dropping the pile really high so the big rocks would fall over here. And before I knew how rocky the soil was, cute little Alyssa was trying to put the big rocks over in that pile, but that was pretty silly. So we're trying to go along the edge here to pick this up, to clean it, and then put it back in the trench. Our goal right now, or today, isn't to 100% fill this. We really just want to get the cisterns covered, get a little bit of earth on there, because we really don't want them exposed to the sun we don't want it getting too hot for obvious reasons. So if we could just fill around here with fines, that would make us extremely happy. And we're not opposed to putting some of the rockier stuff on top of the fines, but we really do want a soft, fluffy bed around the cisterns. Don't worry, we're protecting the bird nest. We got the goodies to finish the vents. Yay! Capped and everything. We think we're gonna build some little support right here to hold that up, but meh, maybe later. This here is just a temporary cap while we're doing all this dirty work, but what we're actually gonna do, we got some mesh. Bought some mesh here, so we're gonna actually put that on the end. We're gonna wrap it around, and then we got a couple of hose clamps. We're gonna tighten it on. This should allow the tanks to breathe, but in theory, shouldn't allow bugs to get in. We'll probably do that after we're done doing this dirty filling, you know, just in case the dust wants to work its way back into the water or something. Uh-oh, we have bad noises coming out of the backhoe.
Sounds like a tire. Because of that rock right there.
Freaking sucks.
Pretty good job.
Wow. Is that repairable or?
Yep, that can be repaired. But
not tonight.
that's probably gonna run a couple $100. So that bucket of rock right there is a $200
Yep.
bucket of rock. Yep. I don't think we're gonna get that tire off there. Not
Wow.
without a bunch of tools, so probably have to have somebody come get it. Backhoe down!
That
Backhoe's
sucks.
down!
This could happen with a rental, but man, this
Well,
soil.
with a rental, you're gonna pay for it anyway. Because I mean, that's not like an upkeep thing. That's user damage.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like this
yeah.
has it's not bad luck that we bought a backhoe. Like this, well maybe it is, but
Oh no, that would have happened.
that could have happened with the rental.
I am shocked we don't have that happen more often. Thankfully, this is river rock, and most of it is round, except for that one. That one's like a dagger.
That's the same one that punctured our septic tank.
Probably. It's probably
It
the
was
same
exactly
rock.
well, I mean not literally the same
Oh,
rock,
yeah.
but
Yeah, the one sharp-edged rock. I mean, there's actually sharp-edged rocks in here, but yep. Port tire. First good flat. Boom. I tried to get it out of the dust, but whoever takes that tire off is taking it off in about that much dust. Look at that.
wow.
I mean, you cannot drive on this much rock forever and get away with it. It's gonna eventually catch up with you. That rock was actually underground. I spun that rock up. That rock wasn't even visible. I spun it up when I went for that bucket load.
Well, yeah, I was wondering. It's like, oh, tractors or not tractor, backhoe's about to tip over, so it just came out of nowhere.
Oh, I spun it out of the ground. Yeah. Look at this guy. I mean, what are you
Put
supposed to
your
do with?
hand on it for size. It's so hard to
What
tell.
are you supposed to do with this stupid thing? There's my foot. That's probably 400-pound rock, 450. Can't move that without equipment. Not putting it back in the trench.
No.
No way. That's why we're filtering all this. But I'm not even putting that on our filter.
No way.
That
I'll
rock
break it so
can
hard.
just go back where it came from.
Yep.
I don't care. It can go back to Missoula or wherever the glaciers started. So my theory is that if I can get 3 yards more clean fill, that should get us to the top of the cisterns and then a little over. I'm really close. I probably need about 1.5 buckets more of clean fill. So I probably need about 3 buckets of this stuff here. And then I'm gonna spread it around with the backhoe, hopefully. So don't work yourself to the bone trying to fix this. I can move this with the backhoe. Dawned on me while I was sitting there. Then my theory is I'm gonna reach out with the backhoe and I'm gonna drag the rest of that pile into this hole.
Yep.
So I don't need
That'll
to filter
get us
it.
pretty good.
I don't need to filter that. Once the cisterns are covered in native rock, I should be able to pull that stuff unfiltered right back into the hole. So tomorrow.
And am I correct in saying that after we get this backfilled enough, without getting like too obsessive, we begin excavation for the home site? Because we have our first concrete pour, we're committing to it.
10 days.
13 days.
13 days.
13 days till the Monday we pour.
Oh.
So there's...
But we only got to build forms, excavate.
Oh yeah, we have to excavate like an entire mountain. We have to build forms like...
Backhoe ain't going anywhere right now.
And you wonder why we get so frustrated when this stuff happens. Ah! So Jesse just got the overflow finished, except...
The world
There's
hates
always
us.
an except. The world absolutely hates us today. We got a check valve because we don't want water to go back through the system, and it's the wrong size. I don't know. We planned to the nth degree.
We planned this 6 months ago, and all of this stuff has changed since we redesigned the system. But it'll be fine.
Apparently we have to get some bushings tomorrow.
We'll get a bushing, go from inch to inch and a half, and then this will be done. Put the elbow on. Boom.
Yep. I think what's important is we're almost done. This is the last thing. Getting that on means our water system is officially completed.
Done.
Officially.
Yeah. And then ready to fill all the way to the top.
And we can start using it.
And check the overflow. We need to test it, make sure it overflows the way it's supposed to.
Exciting stuff.
Yeah. What a project.
I think it's easy to feel discouraged still, but we've come a really long way.
Today is a little reminiscent of the 2-inch poly day. Just a little, not as much, but it's had like this like frustration level 2 all day long, which is just annoying, like hard to have a good time. But this is exciting, very exciting.
Let's get this wrapped up. We have water at the bottom of the hill that we got earlier that we're gonna pump to the top. We're gonna shower, maybe have some snacks, rest, and be back at it tomorrow.